Not every encounter in nature ends the way one might think. Sometimes, the hunt itself becomes the most dangerous thing for the hunter. When venom strikes deep, leaving only a few hours for a battle of life and death, an ordinary encounter turns into a scene full of tension and unpredictability. But sometimes, what happens after the hunt is what makes those moments truly terrifying. Now you will witness moments when survival instincts, venom, and opportunity converge in a deadly encounter. Spider-tailed horned viper versus bird. Amidst arid and scorching limestone canyons, animals are forced to evolve the most bizarre survival skills to stay alive. Deep crevices are often the hiding places of camel spiders, creating an enticing feast that attracts flocks of small birds stopping by to rest. But clinging tightly to that cliff is the spider-tailed horned viper. Its rough, sand-colored scales help it camouflage perfectly. The true deadly weapon lies at the tip of its tail. Extra elongated scales wiggle rhythmically, looking exactly like a plump spider crawling about. Deceived by the illusion, the ravenous bird swoops down. Seizing the moment, the snake lunges and snaps it up, injecting blood vessel-destroying venom straight into the victim's body in the blink of an eye. This fishing technique is a pinnacle of evolution, allowing the cold-blooded creature to expend no energy chasing prey under the scorching heat. By slowing its heart rate, it can patiently lie motionless like a statue for days on end, moving only its spider-like tail. The camouflage suit is so ingenious that even if the bird perches just a few steps away from the jaws of death, it cannot perceive the lurking danger. Before long, another bird swoops down and falls into the familiar deadly trap. With patience and cunning, this assassin calmly keeps its stomach full in the harshest of lands. King Cobra versus rat snake. The lord of the sacred forest rears up with full authority. Thanks to its special skeletal structure, it easily lifts a third of its body to survey its entire territory. Its forked tongue collects odor molecules to track a familiar scent. Amidst the dense jungle, this tyrant is born with the instinct to hunt other reptiles to maintain its dominance. Today's target is an innocent rat snake. Carrying the biological instinct of a specialized snake eater, the giant assassin charges straight in without the slightest hesitation or defense. The fatal bite strikes down coldly. A dose of neuroparalytic venom instantly floods the bloodstream, extinguishing all the victim's struggles. The brutal meal ends swiftly. Beneath the gloomy forest canopy, the life of the weak is stripped away just to nourish the authority of a king. Mongoose vs. King Cobra. The great battle between the mongoose and the king cobra is a pinnacle biological paradox, where a small mammal utilizes a genetically mutated system and millisecond reflexes to push a giant cold-blooded assassin into a state of energy depletion. The mongoose possesses an ultimate evolutionary biological weapon. The acetylcholine receptors on its muscle cells have structurally mutated. As a result, the alpha neurotoxin molecules in the king cobra's venom slip off completely, unable to bind and paralyze the mongoose's respiratory system. Its dodging reflex takes only a few dozen milliseconds, allowing it to see through and neutralize the trajectory of the king cobra's strike right before the fangs touch its skin. However, the king cobra is not like common cobras. Its venom glands contain maximum capacity. If deeply pierced by the king cobra's fangs and injected with a fatal overload of venom, the mongoose's resistance system could still collapse, making it pay with its life. Red-bellied black snake versus brown snake. On a deserted dirt road, a fight to the death erupts when a red-bellied black snake snatches a brown snake. Being a species that specializes in hunting its own kind, the predator delivers a powerful bite to the body to lock down its opponent. Not giving up easily, the brown snake writhes violently, coiling tightly around its enemy and continuously biting back at the black scales. Surprisingly, the black snake is completely unharmed, as its blood possesses natural venom resistance from birth. It lies still and patiently holds its bite, slowly draining its opponent's strength through sheer endurance. In the final minutes, when its muscles are completely paralyzed, the weak brown snake stops resisting. The victor slowly expands its jaws, swallowing the massive meal whole, closing out nature's ruthless tale of survival. King cobra versus king cobra. When two king cobras clash and tear into each other, their most advanced chemical weapons suddenly become useless. King cobras have developed a specific natural immune system in their blood that makes them completely resistant to the venom of their own kind. Knowing that sinking fangs and pumping venom cannot finish off the opponent, they are forced to switch to a completely different combat method: pure biomechanics. They will choose a head-on stance, rearing their bodies high like two hydraulic columns raised arrogantly. Continuously slamming their heads and upper bodies into the opponent's torso. These thunderous blows aim to create immense pressure from above. Whoever possesses denser musculature and more stubborn endurance will force the other to bow its head in surrender, in a verdict that dictates absolute kingship. Grass snake versus frog. In the shallow water, a breathless chase erupts between an amphibian and a reptile. The grass snake employs its optimal hydrodynamic anatomical structure to hunt the frog. a creature possessing explosive thigh muscles, specialized for underwater escape leaps. Its longitudinal muscle bundles coordinate rhythmically with hundreds of flexible vertebrae, helping it minimize water resistance and maintain a steady pursuit speed without making too much noise. To escape, the frog activates a thigh muscle system that makes up 20% of its total body weight. By contracting and extending its flattened, fully webbed hind legs, it generates an explosive thrust in a split second, magnifying the anatomical distance to shake off the predator. Unlike venomous snakes, the grass snake has no fangs. Its weapon is dozens of small, sharp teeth curved backward toward its esophagus. Upon closing in on the frog, this bite acts like a one-way trap. The more the frog struggles, the deeper its slippery skin gets snagged on the snake's teeth, completely eliminating any chance of slipping out. The pressure tightly squeezes the frog's chest, rendering it unable to breathe and gradually suffocating it before it even reaches the stomach. Patagonian snake versus coral snake. Amidst the arid, rocky terrain, the Patagonian snake flicks its tongue, sniffing for prey. They are born assassins, specializing in hunting and eating their own kind. Encountering a brightly colored coral snake beneath a cactus, the hunter ignores the venom-warning colors and lunges for a lightning-fast bite. It throws its body into a constricting coil, but because it only managed to grip the slippery tail, the victim is lucky enough to break free. Instead of fleeing, the coral snake stubbornly turns back to retaliate, a fatal mistake against a larger and more agile enemy. A desperate bite at the opponent's mouth is its last effort to find a chance to inject venom. The Patagonian snake immediately pins it down and violently coils to constrict. It uses its muscular strength to squeeze the opponent breathless, completely neutralizing the venomous weapon. When the victim is exhausted, it slithers up the body to find the head. Locking its jaws and swallowing from the top of the head is a smart way to avoid being bitten back at the last minute. Bird vs. coral snake. When birds target a coral snake, they must face one of the most dangerous neurotoxic species on the planet. The coral snake possesses alternating red, yellow, and black bands, a biological mechanism called aposematism to warn predators of its deadly venom load. However, the bird of prey possesses a brain with excellent color analysis capabilities and sharp vision. It is determined that this is not actually a true coral snake. The bird boldly attacks the disguised prey. This high-speed dive completely neutralizes the opponent's ability to counterattack, instantly severing the spinal cord and paralyzing its twisting ability, giving the snake no chance to turn its head and snap back. A painful end for the imposters who draw attention. What you have just watched shows that in the world of venomous snakes, venom, patience, and the ability to seize the moment can dictate everything. Just a single moment of let down guard is enough to completely change the tide, creating tense and unforgettable scenes in nature. If you found this video fascinating, please hit like, leave a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring many more dramatic wild moments. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.